Hello, I'm Alan Braverman, General Counsel of the Walt Disney Company. I wish I could be there with you tonight to express personally how much we at Disney think of KIND as an organization. We are very honored to be the recipient of the Innovation Award tonight, but we are even more honored to be part of this organization's outstanding effort. And thank you again for the wonderful work that the organization does, and really look forward to engaging with the organization and continuing to do what we can to help it in its mission in the future.
So we have different skill sets, but we have really a lot of passion at every level to help kids. So the match with KIND was a complete natural, and it's worked really well for us. KIND really worked with us. They came with a team of people out here to Burbank. They met with us. We talked about what would work. We talked about volume. We had our first training session right here, and the first night more than 75 people showed up. It was amazing.
I'm Wendy Young, President of Kids in Need of Defense, or KIND. We're a nonprofit organization that facilitates pro bono legal representation of unaccompanied children in their deportation proceedings. We do this in partnership with over 300 major law firms, corporate legal departments, law schools, and bar associations. At KIND, we believe it's very important not only to represent each individual child as they go through the immigration court process, but also to try to change the very system in which they're trying to navigate. So we are working in Washington, D.C. with the White House, with Congress, with the executive branch to try and change the system to make it more child appropriate so that each and every child really has a fair opportunity to raise their case and receive due process.
The children that are going through this program have a determination and a willingness to persevere through some of the most difficult situations you can imagine. So these children and their families have to make a decision that none of us would want to make, and that is, do I try to survive here, or do I let my child go and take this arduous path up through Mexico, which is thousands of miles, and end up in a country that you just have a glimmer of hope that maybe there will be some opportunity for them. And then they arrive, and they're here in the United States, and they're alone. And they're warehoused with other children that are scared. And so you're in a situation that no one would want their children to be in. And I think as a civilized society, we need to stand up. We need to stand up for these children, and we have to say it's the right thing to do is to take care of them. You see that you have this opportunity to help another child. So as a father, you're emotionally connected to the parents that have had to make this decision. And so you can't imagine having to make a decision like that. And so it's a real privilege to be able to offer up your talents to someone and make them feel like it was worth it for them to go all that way.
I never had the opportunity to get support from my dad and my mom. Thanks KIND for supporting me with everything. They helped me to change my life. It's the best thing that happened to my life.
When I met Emmanuel, when the KIND case was assigned to me, I was very impressed by how optimistic he was. And then when I learned about his background and I saw all the suffering and all the really horrific things that he has to go through to get to the United States, that gave me even more, it made me more passionate about helping him with his case. His case was not an easy one. There were several steps that we have to go through. But at the end, we were able to get him a green card. It's always the same. We see these kids coming from so many difficult situations and then turning their lives and now doing something good for themselves. And that is so encouraging. I love that part of the program.
La verdad, desde muy principio sentí que todo muy bien porque cuando empecé con KIND, ¿verdad? Entonces KIND, ellos me ayudaron mucho en mi proceso, fue muy rápido, fueron mucho apoyo en lo que fue en mi proceso migratorio y legal aquí en los Estados Unidos. Puedo ser una mejor persona y tener un mejor futuro.
Casey is a young woman that grew up in Honduras and had some very tragic events occur in her life where they decided that the best course of action for her would be to leave Honduras and to try to make her way to the United States to stay with an aunt. She went on a very long, arduous journey here to the United States and was eventually picked up at the border by immigration, and it was at that point that Kind got involved to try to help her be able to remain here in the United States, where we knew she would have the chance at a much better life. And through Kind's training and assistance, we were able to represent her through that process that was ultimately successful for her.
Mi demás familia no realmente nunca ha estado prácticamente. Pues ellos trabajaron realmente mucho. Fueron personas que realmente estoy muy agradecida con todo el grupo, no solo con ellos, con todo el grupo. Pero realmente ellos cambiaron mi vida. Porque ya ahora que tengo realmente papeles, sé que tengo una oportunidad más para mí.
People want to help these young kids. They have suffered so much. They're coming from some of the most crime-ridden countries in the world, and they want a new chance. They want a break. They want to go to school, they want a career, they want all of what our own kids want. And so it's really just been a genuine pleasure and really a privilege in every way to help these kids.